cannot punch me in my face.
Who said I can't punch you in your face?
Somebody call my mama. Help
Turn
me.
around.
Video of an Arkansas traffic stop is spreading rapidly online. It shows an Arkansas state trooper take an 18-year-old woman to the ground and punch her in the face. Welcome to 11 on 11 here on THV 11 Plus. I'm Ashley King, and this is one of the stories that we've been following all week. Alyssa Hackett's attorney calling for a public use of force investigation. We want to warn you, parts of the video and audio may be disturbing. THV 11's Catherine Rowley walks us through what happened.
The stop happened August 1st on Highway 18 near Manila. According to the incident report, Trooper Moises Alano pulled over 18-year-old Alyssa Hackett after clocking her going 71 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone.
What's the emergency?
My window is broke.
Arlano wrote that he could see a cold bottle of liquor in the car.
You trying to go to jail, ain't you?
If I wanted to go to jail, I would never stop. I wouldn't even study the alcohol limit.
While writing citations, Arlano called his sergeant who had stopped Hackett days earlier. Arlano wrote that the trooper had told him that Hackett had an open container of alcohol during that stop earlier. After that call, Arlano wrote that he decided a citation would not be enough and moved to arrest Hackett.
If she got an attitude, take her to jail.
Okay. All right, we'll do that.
The video shows Hackett asking why she is under arrest before the encounter escalates.
Yeah, let me get your left hand real quick.
Sir, what did I do?
Get your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist.
I need to call my mama.
No. Stop.
But I didn't even. Sir, what am I doing? Oh no!
Stop.
About 10 seconds later, while he is kneeling over her, the video shows him punching Hackett in the face.
Fuck, turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around.
In his use of force report, Arlano acknowledged that he delivered what he called one closed fist strike to the left side of Hackett's face. During the struggle, Hackett cried for help, asking to call her mother, and tells the trooper he cannot punch her.
Turn around!
You cannot punch me!
The video also shows Arlano drawing his taser and warning Hackett he will punch her again if she does not turn over. He does not fire the taser. Hackett faces 5 charges: improper display of tags, a restriction on vehicle lamps, which is the improper use of emergency lights, no seatbelt, purchase or possession of alcohol by a minor, and refusal to submit to arrest. Ben Crump has taken Hackett on as a client. In a statement, he said state police will have to explain to the public how this is a reasonable response to a teenager during a traffic stop. State police have not placed the trooper on administrative leave, and the agency is also conducting an internal use of force review. You can watch the full dash cam video on THV11.com. Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Catherine. Pulaski County Justices of the Peace will soon take another vote on whether to pause new data center projects. We now know a county committee has recommended a proposed moratorium for approval. The proposal would last 12 months in unincorporated Pulaski County while leaders develop long-term rules. It does include exemptions for projects that already have final county approval or certain final utility approvals or agreements. The Ohio Data Center planned near Wrightsville may qualify. County records reference a conditional use permit approving that project in 2024, and Ohio says it already has a power agreement with Entergy Arkansas. The full quorum court still has to consider the moratorium later this month. Meanwhile, Independence County is trying to get ahead of data center development before it starts. 5 major data center projects have been announced or are under construction across Arkansas. None of them are in Independence County, but leaders there have still approved a 5-year moratorium before any project is proposed. Leaders say they're watching development elsewhere and want more time to study the potential effects on water, power, and agriculture.
You can't unring the bell, as it were. And so I think this is a chance for Independence County to pump the brakes a little bit. I know that there was poultry farms that had to have water trucked in. So that's a concern in our county, is having readily available water supply.
Leaders are also asking what the county would get in return for committing those resources. Justice of the Peace Brad Covington says he questions whether the trade-off would be worth it.
We're also concerned that basically we're just being used because they don't bring in any dollars to the county. They don't bring in any jobs. They're really not doing anything for us.
County leaders aren't ruling out data centers for good. They can repeal the 5-year moratorium before it expires in 2031 if they decide a project fits in Independence County. And more Arkansas communities are reconsidering their use of flock cameras. After Cabot announced it'd be suspending their program, Mayflower is now doing the same. Mayflower signed a 4-year deal with Flock Safety in 2023, but Interim Police Chief Brittany Bird says recent privacy concerns led her to review the system and end the contract early. People living in Mayflower say they're glad the city is listening, but they still have questions about why the cameras were installed to begin with.
It's very confusing for just normal people. You know, why did they put it here in the first place? And now, okay, now they're going to take it out because the people don't want it, which is good that they're listening to us. But of course, you know, it'd been nice to know they were doing it in the first place.
Police leaders also questioned where some of the cameras were placed. The department says it remains committed to solving crimes, but the same way it did before flock cameras were installed. And the debate is playing out in Northwest Arkansas. Greenwood city leaders heard from residents yesterday about the city's 11 flock cameras, and supporters say they help solve crimes while opponents raise privacy concerns. And that's really at the heart of the debate playing out across these cities. Greenwood officials have not made a decision yet. Another Arkansas city is also shutting down its flock camera service. This time it's Centerton. Immediately west of Bentonville, these leaders voted unanimously to end the city's use of the license plate readers. The mayor says most of its 17 cameras were not working, and residents also raised privacy concerns about the data they collected. A tragic case of a kid getting their hands on a gun last month has emphasized the need for firearm safety, especially among those who aren't supposed to handle them. THV 11's Carter Thweet shows us a new partnership and how it could help police and families in Central Arkansas accomplish just that.
Captain Chris Amling of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office has dealt with this before.
Recently in the northern part of Pulaski County, an incident happened where a 6-year-old child was shot in the abdomen by another child who was trying to retrieve an unlocked and unsecured firearm from him.
It's why the Little Rock Mayor, Fire, and Police Departments, as well as the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, all met here Wednesday to discuss a partnership that they say could save lives.
That could be our youth. It could even be adults who actually see a gun just laying around and do not know how to utilize it, and then ultimately will kill themselves. And I hate to be that dark, but that's what we're talking about at this point in time.
They're partnering with Project Child Safe, which provides gun safety kits, including educational materials and a free gun lock. Wednesday's event included a demonstration.
The lock is threaded through the loading port and the ejection port
Of what gun owners in Central Arkansas can get for free.
These locks and materials are available to anyone who wants them, without any questions being asked, and will continue to be available in the community moving forward.
Owner of the Arkansas Armory, Nathan House, says he's for it.
I'm glad that they're distributing for free. We also distribute gun locks for free at our shop. Many of those have been provided in the past through Project Child Safe or other organizations.
Stop by tomorrow and grab one. For as many guns as you have, we'll give them out until we don't have any more.
In Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
A school closure left families scrambling and workers waiting for pay. The allegations now under state investigation. After the break. Welcome back. Anticipation is growing ahead of the opening of Arkansas's first buc-ees, now less than a week away. But the big opening comes as school gets back underway and raising questions about how the expected surge in traffic could impact the area. City and state leaders are already making plans to keep cars moving, and THV 11's Tamer Knight is taking a look at those plans.
The traffic lights are on, the street signs are up, and construction crews are putting the finishing touches on the first buc-ees in Arkansas.
It's their store, it's their business, and we're very, very happy they're coming. It's our highway to maintain, so that's how we work together.
Dave Parker with the Arkansas Department of Transportation says RDOT and the city of Benton have spent years preparing for the increased traffic.
Anything that had to do with work on the Interstate 30, we had to have a say in it because that's our responsibility to you, the taxpayer, to make sure it's safe.
Local law enforcement and city leaders are also preparing. They met Monday morning to go over the traffic plan for the grand opening.
All the authorities, state police, sheriff's department, police department, have all met to come up with a plan that will handle whatever situation arises during the grand opening.
Benton Mayor Tom Former says officers will have a heavy police presence on Monday. He says the traffic plan also accounts for the large crowds expected at the store.
2 lanes go to the right, 2 lanes go straight ahead, 2 lanes go to the left. So it's basically a 6-lane exit with anticipation of the traffic that was planned on being there.
RDOT required traffic signals at key points around the development. Multiple entrances should also help keep cars moving in and out of the giant parking lot.
They also required the Buc-ees organization to put in a light right there across the street from, or right at the Buc-ees location going in. So there's actually 3 entrances going into Buc-ees as you come off the freeway.
If you're driving through the area next Monday, expect delays. The grand opening also falls on Benton School's first day of kindergarten, adding more traffic on the roads. In Benton, Tamara Knight, THV 11 News.
Now an update on a THV 11 investigation we first brought you last week. As kids across Arkansas head back to class, families of 43 students in Hot Springs have had to scramble for other options. Nova Roots Academy shut down just weeks before classes were set to begin, and former employees say they're still owed money. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky found the state is now investigating multiple allegations surrounding the school and its closure.
She never told us, like, hey, we're closing kind of thing.
Just last week, I told you families were left scrambling, learning just weeks before school started that Nova Roots Academy would close. Owners Greg and Donna Whitty say medical reasons and the sale of the building forced the closure. Except the building owners tell me the Whittys were evicted for unpaid rent and owe nearly $20,000. Former employee Lila says she saw a building manager come to collect the rent. She says Greg told her he had the situation handled.
He was trying to manipulate Donna into thinking everything was fine and dandy when nothing was even getting paid for.
Lila graduated in May and earned her certification while still in high school and says she had known Donna since she was 13. She says she was excited to work and save money for college. Donna hired her as a front desk receptionist and teacher assistant.
And then Monday through Friday for like 8 hours-ish. And I was like, well, that's great.
Lila says Greg told staff he would pay them out of pocket through the summer until funding arrived in August. She says summer camp ended just after 3 weeks, even though it was supposed to go until school started. On July 10th, Lila received what she later learned was her last paycheck. She says the school still owes employees at least 2 weeks of pay.
$900 for me, and then they owe my mom about $500.
Lila says she reached out to Donna Whitty, but was ghosted.
Donna and Greg both blocked me on messages. I'm blocked on Facebook. They even blocked my Cash App.
New documents I obtained from the Arkansas Department of Education show Nova Roots Academy applied to participate in Arkansas Freedom Account programs. Documents say ADE is looking into allegations of unlicensed daycare operations, misrepresentation for the reason of closure, abandoned animals, lack of refunds, and EFA funding. Lila believes Donna had good intentions before Greg became involved.
She had the biggest hopes and dreams to start a micro school. Has always been her biggest dream. And then when he came along, he was like, well, I have money, I can do it.
Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 investigates.
A reminder, if you see a story that you need our investigative team to look into, there are 2 ways to reach out to us. You can call us at 501-590-4630. We check all the messages that come to that line, or send us an email to investigates@thv11.com. As for this investigation, our team is working to find out how much money Nova Roots received from education freedom accounts. We reached out to the school's owners several times, but they still have not responded. A longtime family doctor in rural Arkansas learns that he is in need of care. Next, the bond that develops when 2 men dedicate their careers to saving others. But first, let's eat it up.
That is so much bigger
Do you
than I
want
thought
me
it
to
was
put it in
going
the
to
middle?
be. Go for it. Put it in the middle, yeah. What? Put it in the middle there.
Oh my! I am so sorry.
This week on Eat It Up, we are in Conway, Las Delicias, the new spot right on Harkrider, and we got our new morning reporter, Lauren Harper. Lauren, you ready to dive in?
Yes, I'm ready to eat it up.
All right, let's do it. Ooh, we're about to eat so good. So many amazing desserts, and they got incredible food as well. What do you say? Let's eat it up.
Community has been very receptive. Everyone walks in, they're like, wow, this looks amazing. So the feeling of this week, it's been unbelievable. We have parents that are saying, you haven't even opened up before we open up. And they see your building and they see Las Delicias, but they see the pink. Even before they could even speak, they're just pointing. And right now that they know that we're open, it's been, as soon as they walk in, it's just like, wow. Our new item that everyone is excited about is our gelato. We have added that to the menu. It's strawberries Dubai, but we have crepes. We also, a lot of people don't know that we have lunch menu items, such as tortas, tamales, which are popsicles, we call them paletas, or ice cream gelato. Now it's zero artificial flavors. 100%. If you get a strawberry, it's just the strawberry. If you get lime, it's the lime. So we don't use no artificial flavors.
Lauren, our new morning reporter on the show from Texas. Now, I'm seeing a few things. Churro, you got there, plenty of that in Texas. Are you ready for a little Arkansas cuisine?
I am so ready. It's not even funny. I'm ready to try a little bit of everything. We have some sweet, we have some salty, we have some spice here. I'm ready. The whole palate.
This is how we welcome people to the natural state. Start with the hot and go to the cold. Torta del Chavo. Already cut it for us, ready to go. Bread, phenomenal. It's like a panini. You can't miss.
I mean, come on.
Avocado.
Yeah, another 10 out of 10. I've said this my entire life. If nutrition was not a thing, I would eat dessert, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Churro, split. Huge go-to. Take it right out of there. Take a bite if you want to. Flavor is out of sight.
Something like this to celebrate, a good show, a good first show.
Welcome to
Perfect.
Arkansas.
Thank
Hope
you.
you enjoy it.
Oh, I love, thus far, I love it. So.
Don't mess it up.
Okay.
Our Conquering Cancer story this week shows the bind that can happen when a medical provider's patient is also a doctor themselves. See how a respected rural family physician put his trust in specialists at UAMS, hoping to save his voice and his life.
For 44 years, Dr. Malin Maris cared for generations of families in rural Harrison, Arkansas, delivering babies, surgeries, full-spectrum family medicine. But at age 84, this veteran physician, who'd administered care in the trenches of Vietnam in the 70s, suddenly found himself on the other side of the exam room.
I had a really severe case of COVID, and I developed a horrible cough and hoarseness. I went and I saw a physician and got a scope. She did not see any cancer at that time, so we assumed it was what was called post-COVID dysphonia.
But in the spring of 2024, Dr. Maris was becoming short of breath and needed answers. By then, he was under the care of the UAMS Winthrop P. Rockefeller Cancer Institute, where a series of scans revealed what was really going on.
Found that the cancer had spread to a lymph node behind my collarbone. And so that changed me from stage 1 to stage 3 because it was on both sides of the vocal cords, and went deep into the tissues between where they join.
Medical oncologist Dr. Omar Atiq gave his fellow physician and patient two stark options: surgery to remove his voice box or radiation and chemotherapy with only a chance to save it.
It is generally called head and neck cancer. The specific diagnosis was squamous cell carcinoma of the larynx. After it was decided that he would go with radiation, since we had proton therapy, that is a newer modality of radiation. It's more accurate and it's more pinpoint, if you will, to the cancer. And that's what he thought was the best option, and certainly we agreed with that.
The treatment was grueling. 35 proton radiation sessions and 3 week-long rounds of chemotherapy to root out the cancer cells.
You know, what you have to realize is cancer therapy is designed to kill the cancer and just barely stop short of killing you, because you've got to hit it hard enough to kill all the cancer cells.
Today, Dr. Atiq says Maris is cured, though he'll remain at higher risk for recurrence and will be followed closely. And this longtime family doctor from a small Arkansas town can't help but offer one last piece of advice.
I think everybody knows basically what's normal them. If you have something that occurs that's not normal you, I would encourage people to go and say to their doctor, I have this pain and I'm concerned about it. This triggers at least a workup instead of just reassurance and a prescription.
Well, that'll do it for our 11 on 11 right here on THV 11 Plus. And join us next week for all of your top headlines in the natural state.